According to the World Bank, Kenya has recorded significant progress in improving policies and institutions for growth and poverty reduction. Now, Kenya's overall score of 3.9 in 2012 is the highest amongst 40 countries, in fact, in Africa, and reflects an improvement from 2011, where that score came in at 3.8. For more on Kenya's advancements, we're joined by Poonam Chauhan-Pole, Acting Chief Economist at the World Bank Africa region. Poonam, thanks for joining us today. So tell us about where we've seen the most improvement coming through and what really is reflected in that 3.9 score.
Kenya has seen a big increase in the quality of policies and institutions this year. It actually follows improvement over the past several years. And we find that the quality of policies has improved in several areas, notably in the area of monetary and fiscal policy. One of the good things that we saw this past year was that despite an election year, Kenya was able to ease off on the stimulus and actually have rather good fiscal policy, even in the face of election year pressures. On the monetary policy side, Kenya continued to have a policy that was focused on containing inflation and managing inflation well. And so inflation came down progressively through the year.
What do you make of the type of investment climate as it's shaping up in Kenya right now, and what Kenya is doing to attract private sector capital? Because, I mean, one of the latest developments is they're looking to pull that tax on mining companies and looking to make it more attractive for investors to invest in mining specifically. But what do you make of the broader investment climate right now in Kenya?
Well, I think Kenya has very strong prospects in terms of both attracting FDI and in terms of attracting more capital flows into the country. Now, Kenya had made a lot of progress on improving the business climate, making it easier for foreign investors to come in several years ago, but the momentum seems to have eased off some. So I think moving forward, if there are ways to improve the business climate to make it more attractive for investors to come in and to make it easier to set up a business, to overcome barriers to entry, that is a plus. I think it's also important to have a level playing field so that you're bringing in investment that is going to address some of the major constraints that the country faces. So overall investment that's going to make a big impact moving forward seems to be a move in the right direction.
I mean, should the tax system be skewed towards incentivizing that in specific key industries then?
I would say that the idea should be to attract investment across the board. There might be certain sectors that are going to be more desirable for investors to come in, but overall the best is to have a level playing field and to make it more competitive so that you are able to pull in both foreign investors and increase private investment.
Let's look at economic welfare right now, and of course making sure that the progress Kenya is making is felt by the majority of the people in the population, because one of the key issues that has come up, and it comes up in many countries across Africa, is there's not enough progress in this space. We've also seen labour unrest and calls for increases to salaries. So what's the World Bank assessment as to the progress when it comes to ensuring that it's widespread wealth creation?
I think that's one of the important areas that many countries are struggling with right now, how to translate growth into shared prosperity so that growth is benefiting not just a narrow part of the population, but the broader population. And all countries, developing countries are facing that. We find that on average, growth in Africa has been less poverty reducing than growth in other parts of the world. So it's important for governments to be able to have policies that can spread the growth more evenly. And
sorry, if I could just interject, specifically on the Kenyan front. I mean, what's your reflection, the World Bank reflection on how this relates to Kenya?
I think policies that help to improve human welfare, that help to improve productivity, that help to improve the environment for workers, and that make it easier for firms to be able to employ the kind of skills that they need, and for workers to be well trained so that they're able to meet the demands of the marketplace. I think those are the kinds of areas that you would want to focus in terms of improving levels of learning, improving productivity, providing access to workers to more productive means, access to finance. I think across a range of areas is where you'd want to focus policies.